Yo, welcome to the stream. Today we're gonna do something really interesting for the most people, for sure. Let me quickly check one thing. Okay. Yeah, so one thing we're gonna do today is oh, this one is, I should move. Okay, the one thing we're gonna do today is I will try to build web application firewall, and I will also try some WAF bypass techniques as well. But prior to that, I gonna read some interesting articles as well. So how other people are doing XSS bypass. I will mainly just skim through and see if I can find something interesting and see if those things will work for our lab. So at the beginning, I guess I'm gonna show you how you can set up the Cloudflare firewall, and as well like check some write-ups and see if those methods will work on my own defenses. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Not sure if this gonna be only today. Maybe I will do another stream like this tomorrow as well, because actually, to be honest, I wasn't got enough time to set up everything, because I just got home like 30 minutes ago. I was busy all day, but yeah, that's happening sometimes. But still, I gonna do it everything on the stream. You probably see me do some weird stuff, maybe failing a little bit, but I guess we will learn on the go. Of course, I'm not new to the Cloudflare, so it will be way easier. So let's go to my screen and let's do some kind of just warm up right now. So yeah, this is my Twitch. It's actually 18 followers to go to like complete goal. I added a couple more goals. I seen the first subscriber. Thank you really for the sub. That's really means a lot to me. From the bottom to my heart, I really respect people who are one of the first to support me. That's extremely good. I really endorse that you could, like, more of you could support me as well, and I usually take my priorities first for those type of people who are like supporting me. So yeah, this is and of course you can read about page. If you start asking me for links and stuff like that, just go here and you will get the most of information you actually need. So just heads up. All right, so to set up your own web application firewall bypass, not only for XSS, but maybe just for testing other vulnerability types as well, I suggest you should have subdomain. I have this one. It's like dummy subdomain. I don't use it anywhere else, just for YouTube videos, and I will gonna use this for the stream as well. So this is the provider I use for UK subdomains. So yeah, I purchased this subdomain. So if I go to its settings, that what it's really important is checking DNS section and going to the name servers. So name servers, I set it up the Cloudflare name servers. Those are two name servers you're gonna need in order for this domain to point to the Cloudflare. And on Cloudflare, to set up everything, you actually just need to add websites. So for this account, I only have this one, as this is like dummy account as well. And other thing what you could do is either like build Cloudflare on the top of like DigitalOcean. You can have a servlet, not servlet, you can have droplet, and you have to like point Cloudflare to this droplet, and you can set up your own lab. Or what you can also do is use application like this, which is intentionally made for testing security tools. If you are building your own, they have a lot of vulnerabilities in this page. It is intentional. You are free to test this application. It's really broken, and a lot of people are already doing that. So if you just want to check which endpoint is vulnerable, you can basically just try the search functionality. Okay, it is kind of broken. Let me refresh the page. It's giving me some prompts. Okay, maybe I will just go here and refresh it. Yeah, so the search functionality, this is like becoming test and query, and what I can do is like I see already, you can see already I made some test for injection first, and then you can just put the simple payload like alert between script tags. So this is without web application firewall, but what we can do, we can use Cloudflare to point to this server. So in order to do that, what you can do, you can set up intermediary cloud workers or something like that to point to this server. It's usually takes some time to like fully initialize, so I'm not sure if it's gonna initialize on the stream. So as I said, like I just came back home like pretty recently. I haven't had enough time to set everything right, and I did that a long time ago. So I'm gonna use some ChatGPT maybe and some documentation how to set up it fully once again. So yeah, I'm gonna use some help because I don't know everything for sure from the top of the head. So that's why I usually like to learn on the go myself. Like I don't have a good memory for sure. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna dismiss DigitalOcean because it will be easier to set up proxy, like Cloudflare proxy. I know the domain is pointing to Cloudflare right now, but we're gonna need to like Cloudflare to point to this vulnerable website. So then I will just write in the URL bar, instead of this, if I write kit.uk, it will go through the Cloudflare. The Cloudflare will have some block rules, maybe stuff like that, and even though I will submit things like that on Kit UK website, it will probably block if I have like correct rules for sure. So before doing this, I will do this in the somewhere in the middle of the stream. So right now, before this, what I suggest, I will just read some articles for sure to see what other people are suggesting for like bypassing firewalls. So some of them might be good, some of them might not be that good, so we will see. All right, so I chose medium once again. I haven't got too much effort right now just to check, but I've just written in the search bar XSS WAF bypass, and we will see what other people are thinking, what could be good WAF bypasses or not. So yeah, finding reflected XSS plus WAF bypass as my first bug. So it has over 400 claps. It's good indication, but if you watched yesterday's stream, I shown that even with 400 plus claps, it doesn't actually mean that it could be factually correct, because I spotted a lot of mistakes. So take this with some, like, you have to consider that, but it's not every time will be like definitely true everything what they wrote here. So let's see this one. All right, introduction. I started out my hackathon journey, blah blah blah. Before finding the bug, I was looking through a bunch of random programs trying. Yeah, so he was just monkey hopping between programs. That usually happens for the most of bug hunters, until they find the right program to hack on, because then you don't know what works and what's not. That's usually what happens for most of the people, and that's completely fine. Okay, A while later, I suddenly got a private invitation and vulnerability disclosure program. So private VDPs, I don't like that, but alright. And thought that since I didn't have any experience and VDPs are usually easier to find bugs in, I might as well. I might as well give a shot. So yeah, if you're just looking for, not like hoping for money, if you're just starting out, maybe like VDPs, just starting out is alright, but don't stay too long. Like stay until you find the first bug, and then eventually you have to transition to like the companies who actually pay for your effort for sure. The first couple of websites I enumerate had nothing of importance to look at, with the most either being static sites like blogs, very little functionality, no login register endpoints. Yeah, okay. It was then I discovered the website for Google dorking common wounds like XSS OpenReader, blah blah blah. Okay, he found Google Docs for bug bounty. Alright, that's okay, but I think most of those nowadays won't probably work, even though it's 2023 year write-up, but I think in that year most of those actually won't necessarily work, especially if it's like redirect equals, like it's rarely working nowadays. Back like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years, yeah, those dorks definitely worked for sure, and it was very easy to find the bugs this way. But right now, nowadays, if I try those, probably not. And another thing, what's really annoying here, but I cannot copy those, like to try myself. I have to actually, yeah, I actually have to write like a monk, rewrite everything. That's annoying. Okay, this website was extremely convenient as it followed me quickly to dork any domain I wanted to. And yeah, other thing what I also want to say, when I'm saying that these dorks won't work, I'm not saying that dorks won't work at all. Definitely there are certain dorking methods that will help you for sure, and yeah, to have this in mind for sure as well. Despite of some dorks returning absolutely nothing, that's what I was just saying, I started putting every single in-scope domain inside these dorks, and in hopes of finding anything interesting at all. He definitely took way too much time for that, and for the most part it will be just like huge time waste, like I'm being totally honest for you. If you're just using these dorks at 2024. Okay, eventually I came across extremely suspicious endpoint we call example PHP. Why you're just hiding what's like the endpoint? You're not even mentioning the program, so why the hell you want to hide that? I don't know. The weird thing about this endpoint was that the domain it was found in, I had actually enumerated to try finding bugs in before. In fact, it was a website I already noticed to be largely unmaintained and looks very old. Alright, those websites, really interesting for sure. But if you found website like this through the Google and its bug bounty program, well, yeah, there will be very low probability to find a bug. But if it's VDP, yeah, sure, you're most likely gonna find some bug. If it looks extremely old, for sure. The fact that this endpoint suddenly appeared out of nowhere when I wasn't able to find it before led me to believe that it could be unmaintained or hidden feature. Not sure. I looked at the example PHP and realized that the page was empty. However, looking at the source code with Ctrl-U showed me a couple of hidden href attributes that indicated the intended usage of this endpoint, which was an embedding tool. Alright, the embedding tool sounds like interesting for sure. I don't have screenshot, so there's example. It looks like a made up article. If he doesn't have screenshot, if he doesn't even mention the endpoint and the program as well, looks kind of suspicious to me. I don't know. So basically, is shown the href. It's not even includes double quotes, it's double suspicious to me. But alright, the page is redacted, endpoint is redacted. Even the parameters looks like they are made up as well. I haven't seen that much in the real world scenario, like parameters like this. It's definitely made up this article. But since it has over 400 claps, let's continue probably. Alright, that endpoint and would essentially take a couple of parameters such as URL of whatever I wanted to embed and the title of embed and create embed. Holy moly, he says embed 3 times in the same sentence. That's extremely hard to read. Okay, I will show examples of this looked like later on. Alright, however, it seems like this tool was not intended to have user controlled input, but instead utilize pre-built ones I saw in hidden href tags. Maybe because the parameters look super weird, just like the single letters. So the parameters were blah blah blah. The parameter T controlled the title of the embed, but the P and S I didn't have obvious usage. Okay, probably. Okay, regardless, I started by trying simple HTML payload in the all parameters, as you do for sure, to which I found out that the P parameter was reflected directly in the HTML code without sanitization and escaping. Okay, what did this mean? It was possible to run payload as this. Okay, I'm not sure if this article is into the correct topic, because I was looking for web application firewall bypass, and I think I read most of the article and I haven't seen anything mentioning about web application firewall. Let me quickly skim through if I will see some WAF bypasses. Okay, maybe something. Alright. I just wanted to make sure, just to not waste any further time. Okay, so it was possible to run payloads such as this. So he just tried HTML injection. He just injected the A tag, like the HTML link. Okay, in the actual HTML code of the website, it looked like this. Okay, this is like actual, but he just pasted in the, it looks like he just pasted inside the VS code for sure. This is not, this doesn't look like website source code. Give me a break. Rendered on the website itself. Okay, it's rendering, but still it's very sketchy. Kali Linux tools. Okay, the reason why there was this at the start of the payload was to escape from meta tag, which such as new tags would be rendered as well. Of course, this isn't considered access until we get the classic alert or prompt blah blah blah. You don't actually need to get those. You can also use other functions. And just basically our goal is to run JavaScript, and it's not limit only for those classical functions for sure. At first I tried something like simplest payload ever and other simplest payload ever, but as you can tell from the title, there was a WAF. Okay, from the title, yeah, actually. The WAF more specifically was the Cloudflare. Okay, we gonna review Cloudflare as well. And TBH, I thought all hope was lost. No, actually the Cloudflare is one of the easiest web application firewalls to bypass. Boy, you haven't tried bypassing Akamai. Come on. Like you seen Cloudflare and you lost the hopes? Come on. I use just every bypass method on Hactrix and Portswigger, and then I attempted to fuzz possible tags like image or unload respectively. The unload is not a tag. Oh, and events. Okay, sorry, I misspelled that. Alright. Found out that literally all of them they're filtered and blocked by the WAF except my original payload. Alright. But he basically just smashing all the payloads, fuzzing everything, but he haven't actually done any WAF bypass. So before doing any WAF bypass, definitely you want to try, as I said, like the cheat sheet by port swigger first, and afterwards, if it's not working, you will go for like some common WAF bypasses. Okay, found out that literally all of them they're filtered and blocked by WAF except this one. Okay, now you may be wondering how you can trigger XSS from this. Well, if you don't know, a and href allows the JavaScript execution like this. Yeah, you can actually, instead of HTTPS, you can use JavaScript scheme for sure. But as I suspected, this payload was also blocked, mainly because the keywords JavaScript and alert. Okay. But like when you are testing this, don't put everything at once. Just go one step at a time. Just try href equals JavaScript and then close. You will know if it's filtered or not, and then try alert like alone without JavaScript and also see if it blocks or not. Don't go like 5 steps at a time. This is not how you do this. Like you have to like small increments while trying to see which rules are in place. I see some of you were contacting me in the DMs. So what I was just telling for everyone, just try some simple stuff first. Like try to see which characters are being filtered out, which keywords, what you can do with that, and yeah, eventually from that standpoint you will go further for sure. So we need a way to obfuscate them. So yeah, right now we are actually the web application firewall bypasses will begin, like obfuscation. I did some research inside Hacktricks. There is section blacklist bypass, which details methods by bypassing WAFs that utilize blacklist to block certain tags and events. Alright, we're gonna check this one out. Can we see blacklist bypass? Okay, let's search for this string. Blacklist bypasses actually. Okay, it's some kind of blacklist being used. Okay. I also found the HTML marquee tag reflection, but it blocked by Akamai, so I put equals. Okay. Alright, so there are like multiple methods how you can bypass blacklist, but definitely that's not all of them. What we can also do, we can go to the X and just check tweets by some researchers. Sometimes those could be interesting. We can also check some other blogs for sure, but this is a really good start. Hacktricks is really good source when you're just trying some basic stuff for sure. Alright, which details methods of bypassing WAFs to utilize blacklist to block. Okay, he also created the screenshot. It's really nice that he just added the reference as well. This was exactly what I needed, as the WAF was blacklisting both JavaScript and alert keywords. Alright. I tested all payloads and found out that when you used URL encoded carriage return like this %0d inside quotation of the payload I mentioned before, this one, you could achieve something like a href. So he just injecting somewhere between everything. Yeah, so like let me see what this actually will be seen as a URL the code carriage return character. What is that? Okay, it doesn't It doesn't show anything. Let's see what it is. Okay, it's... Oh, okay, thanks. Yeah, I heard this term, but I forgot actually that happens. /r. Okay. Yeah, it could be true. Oh, Rafat, thank you for joining. This guy actually knows way more about XSS for sure, but still, if I need some help, I'm gonna ask you. Yeah, new line is like this. There is also like other characters, like tab as well. A lot of them for sure. So yeah, this is kind of good bypass, but it not necessarily will work every time. But as you can see, inside the string itself, like JavaScript, is just adding those, and those will be, when it will be read, parsed by some kind of application, those will be removed, and what will happen, it will end up like this still. Okay, and HTML would parse it as the original payload. However, it appears both HTML source code and in the WAF's eyes something like this. Yeah, it's actually, it will look like this to the WAF, so he won't see the strings like this or like this. Now it may seem weird, but the payload actually executes. Can we try this payload here? Okay, it's not working right here. It won't work probably every time, so alright. Post exploitation. Further experimentation showed that it didn't matter where this was placed, so long as it would the quotation marks, and the payload will still work. I tried a while to get a zero interaction payload to work, as this payload requires user to click on link, but as I mentioned before, it seems like a tag is only what I could use. Yeah, so if we had the tag that uses not only one, but why? You can also put between like this and this, maybe? Not sure. Was the only tag I could use, and all events on load were filtered and didn't work with this, as they were enclosed by in quotation marks. However, since this was an embedding tool, I could actually showcase how an attacker could make XSS more phishable. Firstly, I mentioned before that there were other parameters in the vulnerable endpoint. Okay. Hello, thank you for joining. Okay, mainly there was a title T parameter that allowed me to put the title in the embed into anything I wanted. Okay, something. So when I send the phishing email with the title said something extremely long, the link would look something like, well, he's doing a little bit of social engineering. I'm not sure like if it's truly, which show some more impact for some programs. I know like even some big tech programs like Google, even though if you are just showing some HTML injection, they won't accept it. It will say this is informational. It really depends on the program how they view it for like this. Some of them will say the phishing is out of scope, even though it's not like technically over, but he is just adding some impact, as I can see. Alright, since the T parameter is an actual valid parameter, I could put something seemed legitimate in there that was long enough to hide the payload, while actual payload would not be shown. Alright, not only that, but the platforms such as Discord, you can also create embeds that completely hide the payload. Example still shows the payload since it's not full embedded, but it's still rather hard to tell. Okay, he just shows something. So I guess it's being injected in some kind of meta tags, and meta tags at the top of the page usually in the head section, they will describe, when you share the link of the page, for example, they will describe which image you will want to use, which title it will be displayed as well if you're like sharing on I don't know, like Facebook or something. The meta tags of the page what you want to share will describe that for sure. So it will be something something. With that, I concluded my bug hunting and decided to send report to the trash team on the hacker one. They got back with me that a couple days and verified my report. It took 1 month for me to get a report resolved, but only a couple days to get thanks since this was VDP. Alright. Well, different VDPs will like add different as well. So, okay, some conclusion. He got the medium severity and he got some award, but it's VDP, it's not that serious. Okay. Alright, so this was just simple bypass by using carriage return character, URL encoded one, but URL encoded payloads not necessarily will work every time. Maybe in some reflected payloads, but still, like right here I think it's stored, that's why it won't work. I need to find the reflected access because it's post based. Okay, this is query. Can I put it like no? Okay, browse categories, browse artist, comment. This also looks like oh, come on. Guest book. Okay, this is just links. I'm just looking for get method on this page which has reflected XSS, not post method, because right here is post method. So okay, let's see, categories, category, comment on this picture. Okay, let's see this one. Comment pasted. Okay, never mind. I will just use this endpoint to see the reflection, but this payload might work, but only maybe on the reflected access, but not necessarily all the time for sure. So yeah. Alright, guys, chat, do you want for me to read other article, or you want me to show you how you can set up the XSS WAF lab? Just tell me in the chat. What do you think? Because if you don't tell me, I will decide myself. Right. Anything works. Alright, alright, cool. So maybe just I will just read one more article. Hopefully this one will include more bypasses, because just one bypass, and that's pretty basic. I will be honest, like I could come up with that if I see something new. That will be good article, but I don't know, like 400 claps for that, seriously, I don't know. Okay, Unicode versus WAF, XSS WAF Bypasses. I will just maybe I will just skim through, but one thing what I liked, like blacklist bypasses, he added some links, and there are like other bypasses, that's cool as well. Okay, let's maybe scroll down a little bit and see where he actually does the web application firewall bypasses, and just read the code. Okay, to bypass I started fuzzing, and the result was so this actually So it looks like the alert function was being filtered here, at least, or something. Yeah. So try to create tag instead of adding event attributes. I inputted channel. Okay. Okay, he is showing Unicode characters. So this is another way how you can try bypassing WAF. Trying Unicode characters, those could work as well, because you're kinda bypassing some strings. Let me check where the payload is actually. Oh, it's being. Where the hell is the payload itself? Stored XSS. Okay, he got P2, but why haven't shown the screenshot of that? Okay, let's see. This might be interesting one as well, because he also shows like Unicode WAF bypass. Okay, let me check maybe for other article as well. This one doesn't even have some claps, I guess. That could be... I think he just copy-pasted a lot of stuff here. Okay, this one's not really interesting. Okay, I might keep this tab open. We might read this one if I won't find anything more interesting. This has less claps, but like to my knowledge, sometimes the people which has way less attention and articles which has way less attention might have some hidden gems, because like it's kind of weird. When I also have written some articles on Medium as well, I noticed that those articles who are actually should be way higher because it has more valuable information, those not necessarily will be at the top. So sometimes you could also try finding some interesting stuff. But let's see. Okay, he's using some interesting techniques, I gotta say. Right, this one might be interesting article because yeah, those are extremely interesting, isn't it? The output is using eval atop, also pretty interesting technique. If you've seen some blind XSS frameworks, they also use eval atop. Like this is like pretty basic bypass for base 64 encode, like how you can hide some of the payloads. Okay, well, this article looks way more interesting. It's way more advanced compared to that one. That's kinda long. I might read this one. Okay, but before reading this one, I guess I'm gonna try setting up the web application firewall lab, because I need to like short break between those tasks. So yeah, this is my Cloudflare thingy. I need to point to this website. So what I could right now need to do, I could use ChatGPT. It will make the life way easier, and I do really recommend people using that. I will hide the goal right now. So quickly, I will just ask how I can use Cloudflare to proxy traffic from my own kit UK to proxy traffic, maybe requests from my own domain to this domain, right? So it will just generate me the steps what I actually need to do, and it will like save a lot of time for sure. I really like using this because sometimes when I setting up, come on Rafat, everyone uses ChatGPT. Why you are doing this? Don't say that you yourself you are not using that. And I used quite a bit of it for sure, like setting up some labs. Not every time it's gonna respond correctly, for sure. I'm being honest, but still. Okay, I have a domain, subdomain path. Don't actually need page rules for forwarding. Okay. Okay, no, this is actually not helping me. How those? Oh, Cloudflare workers. Okay, I will ask different. How I can set up Cloudflare workers? To proxy traffic. Service proxy worker. Okay. Yeah, this one. Okay. Go to dashboard. From select domain on the side. Scroll down to workers. Create new worker. Okay. So the domain, I selected the domain. Workers. Worker roots. Yeah, this one. And I have proxy worker already created. Okay. So I just need to edit the code right here. Okay. Okay, this one should work. Okay, instead of using my own domain, I can also use this one. Yeah, it works. It works. I brought the ATO report to the company and literally typed insert target application name. Yeah, that could happen when you're using the same template everywhere. Sometimes I got some mistakes like this. I am just copy pasted from previous report for the different company, and I think one time I left out other companies, like some details, but like not critical ones, but some weird stuff. But I just understood this, like that mistakes could happen. Sure. All right. So I can use my own like this subdomain, but it's also not necessarily, you not necessarily need to set up subdomain. As you can see right here, you just need to go to the workers and pages, or just websites, like select your website, or not actually need to set up website. You can go to the workers and pages on the Cloudflare, and you can create the new worker. So I just created the proxy, and then you should need to edit the code. So the code I'm currently using is some kind of JavaScript at the top of this page, which is actually proxying every request right here through the Cloudflare. So instead of using KitUK, I guess I'm gonna just use this one. It will be way simpler. So let's close. Okay, maybe I will leave this. This will be without WAF, and this will be with the WAF. So all right, and this will be article to read. I will close this one. Don't need this one. So right now the script is working. I can close that. So the interesting thing for us, what we can check, is WAF part. So you can like purchase WAF or application level, or you can purchase for certain websites. So my website, this website, I could create some rules like right here. So for WAF, I need to search for WAF. Where is it? Security maybe? Yeah, security, WAF, free customers. Okay, I need to write custom rules. So as you can see, previously I was creating some rules for the just testing SQL injection. You can add up to 5. So let me quickly delete everything. Okay, so let's create new rule which actually will block certain keywords. So XSS script or something. Script. It will check what it should check. It could check multiple things, as you can see. It could check like referrer, header, user agent, x forward that for like I want parameters. No, there is no parameters. Header, huh? Jesus. URI, full, wildcard, URI, path. Let's do like this, maybe. Or URI, yeah, it will include also the parameters. So if I inject the script tag somewhere here, it should block that. Wildcard, if it contains, maybe. If it contains script, this is like expression. The Cloudflare has custom rule language as well. So if the URI like this contains the script, then you can do the action. I will just do block. You can create a couple of other things. So if you hit the deploy, it should work on this page. Let's see. But it needs to happen in the this one. It needs to happen in the URL. Let's see right here, maybe. No, it's not actually proxying from my website. That's crazy. I need to set it up correctly. It's not actually proxying me. Let me quickly check what I actually did wrong here. Traffic. No. DNS maybe? Okay, it's proxying to this one. Alt CNAME records. What if I try to use Kit UK? No, it's not going anywhere. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's follow the steps from the ChatGPT, because I thought initially this could work without the domain, but it seems it's not the case. But I do actually need that one. Okay, I have created the new worker. I created the script. I deployed it. Set worker routes. Okay, I need to set the route. Okay, link worker, go back to workers dashboard. Jesus. Workers, this one. Custom workers. Oh, workers routes right here. Edit. Proxy. Could it be that I can like write something like this? Page isn't redirecting properly. Okay, something is wrong here. I'm not sure. Every time I like encounter some difficulties. That's happening every time. Oh, thank you for the follow. Alright, I might try doing this maybe. Let's see. Let's see. It's maybe not. I actually am receiving some requests. If I spam a little bit, let's see if Cloudflare gets something. Let's refresh. United States. Not sure if it's truly getting me somewhere. I don't know. So as I said, like before the stream, I actually haven't got enough time to prepare everything, but I guess we will try tomorrow. Like before tomorrow's stream, I will try prepare for this subdomain to work, because I think it does require to set up some extra things. So I guess that will be for tomorrow's stream, just to finish the lab, and I will take like way more time tomorrow probably to play with this lab. And for today's, the end of the stream, I guess we're gonna check this article, because it looks pretty interesting for sure. All right, so XSS WAF Bypass. That's like very simple title, I gotta say. It's way simpler than usual. Okay, what's going on, everybody? This is Shellbreak back again with another block. Looks like hacker's ploy back again. If you've seen his videos. Okay, today I will be talking about how I bypassed big IP ASM firewall in one of my engagements. As usual, the target will be redacted since the pentest is conducted on the client environment. Okay, this is not bug bounty story, this is pentest story, but it will be also interesting for sure. So enough talking, and let the fun begin. First, I noticed the parameter named page URL. I like that he actually names a parameter, not says example.php. With the value of their file HTML. Okay, so the page, and he also included the screenshots. It looks more legit right now. And alright, as noticed in the screenshot above, I tried injecting double quote to see if it's going to be reflected in the response, but that wasn't the case. Okay. At this point, I thought there is no XSS affecting this parameter, so I decided to add another file name instead of file HTML. Okay. So he added shellbreak.html, and here was the response. Like the shellbreak HTML was reflected. Later, I noticed that then I add .html to any payload, the application doesn't reflect whatever comes afterwards. Okay, so it will trim everything after .html. So after HTML. Okay, submitting a request without HTML gave me the following response. Okay, he was able to inject. So like he's really showing how you should approach like bypassing stuff. Just one simple step at a time. Don't go like full straight up payload and paste it everywhere. If you are trying to bypass WAF. It was pretty obvious, but it's possible to test for XSS. So I got back to XSS again. The application was behind big IP ASM WAF. So, and to be honest, it was a kind of well configured, as I spent a whole day trying to come up with valid bypass to run JS code, but I couldn't. The next day I asked one of my teammates to see if he has any thoughts to bypass this WAF. By the way, he's known for being good, at WAF bypassing techniques, and he gave me some encoded payloads, but all of them didn't work except the one. So I guess, okay, he was not actually like doing one step at a time, but he was just fuzzing afterwards. But this payload worked. The decoded form of this payload above is filter construction alert. Alright, it's kinda interesting. Assuming you noticed that the injection in the JS string context, I tried several generic payloads like this, alert, var. Yeah, because this is happening inside the JavaScript, that's why you need to escape the quotes. Like right here, he did escape the quotes. Escape the function or the variable in this example, and he just injected other code and also closed, and also try to close the string as well, because this has to be closed as well. So he was just injecting extra variable, but WAF blocked them all. All right, so the WAF blocked them all. Yeah, it says that's being blocked. Going back to our encoded payload, so if we tried encoded payload, it was not blocked because he was just using some crazy weird stuff. Due to payload's length, I couldn't show it in the screenshot, but it's pretty obvious that the WAF didn't catch it and it didn't see the request rejected message. Visiting URL, so he just added the payload, he was able to see the alert. Alright, what I'm looking for in this article, it looks super interesting, but what I was expecting to see the explanation what it actually does, because I see a lot of things are going on here. So in the cases like this, when it's mumbo jumbo like this, I also use ChatGPT, and that's completely fine, don't get me wrong, for sure. Like, I know many hackers do use this, so if you are telling otherwise, I don't know, you're probably lying. I know all of you are using this. Okay, the alert function was triggered, but it's not enough. Without real impact, it's nothing but a way to execute harmless function. However, I wrote a simple script to generate encoded payloads on the fly. And why the hell are you screenshotting your program? I want to copy this and try myself, but Jesus, do I really need to like copy like a monk and type? Why are you doing like this? I hate those people who are like doing like this. Okay, the script generates payloads as follows. Filter, constructor, a val, a top, and okay, the whole payload, the whole JavaScript code will be base64 encoded. So I guess, okay, so this program will take the input of the user. It will do some base64 encode what from the user's input, like as you can see here. It will convert to base64 and put this into a val a top function along with like this weird characters as well, and it will also print the output. So it's pretty cool. So if you enter your payload alert1, it will convert the payload. Okay, no, it's actually doing something way more probably. Never mind. Okay, again, I couldn't show the entire payload in the screen due to its length. The payload, okay, so what he actually was doing, he was trying to use JavaScript to fetch his own collaborator instance. So in this case, instead of using regular alert, you can increase the payload into SSRF, and especially if it's happening in the server side, you can get serious crazy bugs like this. You can fetch, for example, some internal server metadata or something like that, and it could be critical instead of, or even like exceptional, how integrity says, instead of regular medium. So he bypassed WAF. He included some pretty nice chaining the bugs. I really like this article, but one thing what it's missing is actual explanation of the payload itself. But I guess if he won't find, I will try pasting this in the ChatGPT and see how it works behind the hood, unless Rafat wants to tell us all. Alright, never mind. Okay, in the most cases, the XSS is exploited to steal session cookies and perform the CSRF. Okay, this is not SSRF, this is CSRF because it's happening on the client side actually. But if, for example, imagine this payload is being rendered somewhere on the server, this will be SSRF, server side request forgery. Okay, do it in the console. Okay. Copy payload and do it in the console? I don't know. Maybe later. Okay, in the most cases, XSS is exploited to steal session cookies or perform CSRF. This is why I like try initiating request using HTML request API. This is JavaScript API. Then I spot XSS phone, so I did. So he's right now even like creating even more impact and seeing the reflection as well. And as we can see, it works. It's actually escaping the double quotes, like to not get an error, like escaping here, setting the payload, and he's also getting ping back to his collaborator server. This is really good. I was very happy that I bypassed web application firewall, but something kept bugging me because the payload was given to me by one of my teammates, so I wanted to craft my own payload. That being said, I talked about the app and how I bypassed the WAF with some friends from amazing infosec prep Discord server. Alright, I don't know this Discord server. I might give some checks to see if it's really good or not. Maybe I will just save to the new tab and come on. Right now I don't need to see that, but my plan is maybe just do one stream and just review some infosec and bug bounty Discord channels and give my opinion. That could be a pretty good, interesting topic to learn about. Maybe for one stream I could do that for sure. But okay, let's finish this article. And there was a dude who suggested another way to bypass web application firewall, as he was done it before in one of his engagements, but the payload he gave didn't work and rejected by WAF in my case. But it opened my eyes to different ways in which I might able to bypass it. And to be honest, I remember the video from IPSec about a machine from Hacked Box called RE, where IPSec was trying to evade firewall to inject malicious macro in Excel sheet to get code execution. Yeah, so there is one page by IPSec. If you don't know what IPSec is, he is the guy with YouTube channel who, like, all what he does is just shows in video format how you can complete hack the box machines. But the one thing that's really interesting for me, he has itsec.rocks, I think. This is his website where it is actually the search. So you can search a certain topic like XSS WAF maybe, or maybe WAF. And he actually has the links to the videos and explains what he is doing in this part. So if you, for example, just go to this video, he will just go to the certain timestamp to this video and you can actually check what he's doing. And he's really smart guy, and you can like see how he does.
Ticket has been posted, and if I go over here,
how he does the WAF bypasses. So I really recommend checking this website in particular, because sometimes it might be helpful. Not necessarily all the time, but sometimes it could be interesting as well. All right. So IPsec was trying to evade firewall to inject malicious macro in Excel. Okay, the way he used by separating the command, he wants to run in several variables so the firewall can see the real malicious payload. Okay, this is also other interesting function. He's using variables and setting them as like different parts of like this is alert combined. So what you can do, like combine variables with self function, so it will just pop the alert, right? Like right here. This is really interesting way how you can also bypass WAF. I seen some methods like this, sure. Okay, so he got this actually, and he also popped the alert. This is other area, like how you can, if it's happening inside the JavaScript for sure, because there might be different context, so different context. This might not work if it's between two HTML tags. So, all right. Now it's time to leverage this method to execute more than just alert function. So, okay, blah blah blah. So I came up with the payload below. So he's just creating the function which uses a val, atop, and also uses base64 and self, and he is also like combining multiple strings. So he's just hiding his payloads inside multiple variables. This is really interesting. This is really interesting how you can hide your payloads. But as well, it won't necessarily work all the time because there might be some limitations. For example, if your payload has limited character size, it might not work. But if it's happening inside the URL, like this one, it's maybe you will be less concerned about character limitations. So, all right. Okay. So he was just also popping out alert, but right now the alert function itself is hidden inside base64, so you can hide even more stuff out there. Okay, now if you want to run more sophisticated payloads, we could need to change the base64 encoded part. So he also made another interesting custom script with using base64 and Python. And the user's input will be base64 encoded and will end up right here. So, and the function will also return the final payload that you can set in the URL. And I wonder what it was actually. Oh, it was also alert 1. No, not alert 1. It was actually the ping back to this collaborator, and he got another ping back with XSS 2. So it's pretty interesting things. But what I was concerned in this article, the first payload, how it actually works behind the hood. Alright, keep in mind that self was blocked with quotes, but feeding it as self A plus B didn't get caught by the web application firewall. At this point, the thrill of defeating WAF tempted me to find even more bypasses. So I did. Okay, that way there is even more bypasses. That's interesting. That's cool. Alright. Back when I was trying to trigger an alert, I noticed that map alert works like a charm. Okay, there is a map function. What the hell is this? I'm not sure. Works like a charm. I got this payload from payload all the things GitHub repo. Okay. 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 I will need some explanation on this one as well. I'm not an expert on JavaScript for sure, but this looks like map function could look really interesting as well for like some simple bypass. Maybe not so simple, because we saw simple bypasses in previous article. This one little bit advanced for sure. Knowing that this payload didn't get caught as well, I decided to leverage to use XML HTTP request API to initiate a request to BUR collaborator. Now, my idea was injecting alert 1 map eval. Note that the string alert 1 is separated by several variables. However, I wasn't lucky enough and the WAF blocked it. But eval isn't the only function in the JS that evaluates the strings as JS codes, so we have to set timeout. Okay, he was also splitting different strings into variables like this. So he is using a top and he's using base64 as well. Again, if we were run anything we want the part we need not for a base64 encoded string. Although I didn't find much of high critical vulnerabilities in this project, I was happy I got the chance to learn new techniques. Yeah, I also learned quite a bit as well. Those are pretty interesting. Breaking up some characters, not characters, like whole payload into variables, and then doing string concatenation in JavaScript. This is one of the things what you can do. So that was it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm hoping to see you all in the next write-up. And as you can see, it only has 144 claps. Come on. And previous article we saw it got 400. As you can see, it has way less, but it deserves more. You can give 50 claps for the people. 50 claps maximum. I will give 32. But I really like this one. But what I also would like to see in this article is the explanation of this one, like this payload. So I will just ask ChatGPT, it will make the life easier, and we will see. Okay, it looks like you provided some JavaScript code encoded with octal escape sequences. It lets the code to better understand what it does. Okay, so every of these characters are actually translated to certain letters. The octal escape sequences you provide could be decoded as follows: fi filter contents to filter constructor eval a top. Okay, this is the coded one. This is way better. Filter constructor eval a top. So this is the area where he was just injecting base64 and he was doing octal encode for those two. That's extremely smart and sophisticated payload. So no wonder WAF, like some simple WAF, was not able to detect it. Alright, so explanation of the coded code. I really like this one. So the first three, this trick used to access JavaScript functions constructor dynamically. It essentially creates a new function using constructor property of the filter array method. The eval a top calls the eval of the coded base64 string, which is alert1. Okay, this is the coded from this one. The code is designed to obfuscate the call alert1 using octal escape sequences and base64 encoding. When it's executed, it will display the alert box with the number 1. Okay, it's way easier to understand right now, and as you can see, it really helps. You don't need to purchase some other services, like ChatGPT by itself could be pretty strong as well. Maybe not that strong at constructing custom payloads. You need to put a lot of effort and work if you want to create unique and pretty good payload, for sure. But yeah, it's really good start, I guess. And this is like also like simple bypasses which you can use as well, but we seen this one which was way bad. And guys, if you want to read more articles about WAF bypasses, I could do that as well tomorrow probably, but until tomorrow's stream I gonna prepare and test my environment for the Cloudflare, because I really want to prepare lab and show like how from the defensive side. I already show you like how you can set up one rule, but I haven't actually tested it out. So in order to do that, I actually need to set up the DNS settings probably, and it's gonna take some time because I need to remember how it actually works. So yeah, I gotta be prepared for tomorrow. And yeah, that's gonna be it, I guess. All right, so let me quickly check one thing, and I guess we're gonna wrap it up pretty soon. All right. Yeah, I'm streaming for over 1 hour. Usually I mostly look forward to stream maybe just 1 hour maximum, but like as usual I really got into the rabbit hole like for certain topic, and I really like doing some research. So yeah, sometimes I do spend way more time as intended, but maybe one weekend, my plan is one weekend, if I have way more time, I will probably like spend either more time streaming, but not sure if I can truly keep that amount of attention from you guys, because I don't know, some of you might have that day some things to do, so that's understandable, but we will see. I might be working on some kind of script for blind XSS, so that could be also interesting thing to do. So on the stream I might work on some, I don't know, things that you can chain your blind access payload with. So yeah, that's pretty cool as well. All right, so guys, thank you for watching. It was really my pleasure showing this. It was really interesting exploring this topic. I guess it's really interesting for you as well. I know from the work content from YouTube that bypassing web application firewall will always be interesting one. So I guess for tomorrow we will also do this, and see you on the next stream, and bye.